Hi, welcome to this tutorial on being able to simplify surds. If we look at these two square roots up here, we've got root 4 and we've got root 7. Now all a surd is a number that could be written exactly in its square root. So root 4 isn't a surd because we can actually rationalise that. Root 4 can be worked out. Root 4 is 2. But if you ever look at root 7 hasn't got an actual answer that we can write exactly. If we try and find root 7, we're going to need a number times itself, and that number will go on forever. It can't be written as a fraction or an integer. So root 7 is a surd, but that is the exact answer. And mathematicians like to leave answers in surds because we do like to be exact when we're working things out. There's two laws of surds that are extremely important. If you have root A and you multiply it by root B, that is the same as having root A times B. If you've got root A and you're dividing it by root B, that's exactly the same as root A divided by B. Now we can use those laws to simplify lots of questions. So if we have a look at this, we've got three examples here I'm going to do with you. The first one, I want to simplify root 20. Now the idea is to find two numbers that will multiply to give you 20, one of which is a square number, because a square number we can find the square root of. So two numbers could be 2 and 10, but of course they're not square numbers. But another two numbers that multiply to give 20 are root 4 and root 5. So if I write this as root 4 times root 5, we can simplify it because we already know that root 4 is 2. So this just becomes 2 times root 5. And in algebra we don't need to write this times, so our answer simplifies to 2 root 5. Root 5 cannot be simplified because it's a surd. Example 2. We already know from the first example that root 20 can be simplified to 2 root 5. Now, like in algebra where you cannot add an x to a y, but you can add an x to an x, it's the same with roots. We couldn't add a root 5 to a root 7, but we could add a root 5 to a root 5 to give us 2 root 5. So if we can find two numbers, one of which is root 5, to simplify root 80, we can group them together. So I know that if I times 5 by 16, I get 80. So I can simplify this to root 16 times root 5. And 16 is a square number. So this now becomes 2 root 5 plus root 16 is 4. So I get 2 root 5 plus 4 root 5, which I can add together, and that's going to give me an answer of 6 root 5. The last one here, example 3, obviously we're going to be using a different law. We've got root 40 divided by 2. So now what we're going to do is we're going to split root 40, and I can split this into root 4 times root 10 divided by 2. Root 4 is 2, so on the top I get 2 root 10, and on the bottom I'm dividing it by 2. Should be able to see that because we're dividing a 2 by a 2 and we're timesing the 2 on the top there, we can simplify that even more because 2 goes into 2 once, so we're left with 1 root 10 divided by 1, and these ones do not need to be there, so our answer is just root 10.